Well, I started this workshop as, I don't know, just kind of out of the last 40 years of playing with musical instruments since I started working in music stores when I was real young. And fixing little things, and the little things got bigger and bigger, and all of a sudden decided I needed to learn how to build them. And just so happens I had a wife who also knew how to build them, and she taught me that, and I'm continuing it today. Well, my musical history is, I guess, starts about 5 years old, finding a guitar under the stairs in the basement. It used to belong to my dad, and used to get in trouble for getting that out and playing with it all the time. And kind of progressed through playing with piano, school band, playing trumpet and such. High school, through, I guess, college, playing in rock and roll bands, playing guitar. And I just decided one day, after listening to things like Eagles and Linda Ronstadt, that I wanted to learn pedal steel guitar. So I went out, must have been 21, 22 years old, bought myself a steel guitar for my birthday, and ended up on stage 4 nights later with it. And that's kind of the journey. A friend of mine who was kind of helping me learn the instrument those couple of days before that I'd had it, made me get up on stage and sit in. And a couple of other musicians happened to be in the crowd, and they were looking for a pedal steel player, and they hired me. Go figure. Well, I originally met Michael Hearn in 1980 up in Red River, New Mexico, and still obviously really young then. And I used to go up and sit in with their band at the Motherlode and play quite a bit when their regular steel player couldn't make it. And so we've known each other over the years. And when I moved back to Taos in the late 1900s, I decided that I was going to start playing steel again. I had just quit for a number of years. Started playing again and ended up playing some more with Michael. And as his original steel player moved over to Amarillo and couldn't make it back over here all the time to Taos, Michael would call me up and I would go out and fill in for him. And just kind of snowballed from there. Building guitars, to me, it's an extension of just really enjoying working with wood. I actually didn't start by building guitars. My first foray into woodwork was building remote control airplanes out of balsa wood. And anyway, well, the end result's quite different building a guitar. A lot of the techniques are not that different, so I had kind of a jump on it. And I had a very good teacher and enough of a background in repair, I knew which end of the guitar was which and so forth. And so it's just, I think the first guitar I built would have been in 2003. My daughter was graduating from high school and she wanted a guitar. No way I could afford one, but my then girlfriend, later wife, said, well, we can build a guitar, I'll teach you how to do it, and you build it for her, and I'll just make sure you don't do anything wrong. And my daughter still has that guitar and still plays it, and it's still in one piece, surprisingly enough. And so I just haven't looked back from there. You know, I was thinking about how many instruments I've actually made and are out there, and it's not that many. Between playing music and repair work, if I have time to build 3 or 4, 5 guitars a year, I'm doing real good. So there's probably no more than 35, 40 guitars out there. Or oddities, one of the two. The barn dance guitar started, I guess 3 years ago now. I've always done a booth at the barn dance, doing minor repairs, emergency repairs for musicians who are performing, and just for exposure, hopefully get an order or two. And I got to thinking a little while back, I know a number of people who are in various positions with youth music programs here in town, and they're always hurting for money. So it just dawned on me, why not build a guitar? We'll raffle it off, and that money goes to the Taos youth music programs here in the area. And it's just grown bigger and bigger each year. and hopefully I can keep helping out, kids' music, because kids don't learn how to play music, I'm going to run out of customers. Yes, I'm actually doing what I said I would never do, and that's I'm back on the road playing music again, pretty much full time. I ran into a guy, his name is ARELLANO. About 3 years ago, I got a call that he wanted a pedal steel player for a studio session here in the area, and I've been playing pedal steel for him ever since. So now it's some time here at the bench and the rest of the time out on the road. And so far, everywhere from the West Coast to Nashville and parts in between. So I guess this is what they call retirement. And it's actually good. It keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble for the most part. The difference between country music, the top 40 variety you hear on the radio, and what it is that I get the opportunity to play with ARELLANO and what other local Americana artists and national Americana artists play is so totally different. First off, generally top 40 country, those people are just handed songs, handed a studio band, a band which plays on everybody else's albums also, and it's done usually to a formula. Nothing really jumps out on it. Americana, you don't know what you're going to get. Case in point, when I work with Chris, it could be a traditional Spanish tune interpreted as though John Prine were playing it. It could be an old rock and roll tune that's been turned into a Spanish flavored song. It could be a blues tune done acoustically. There are no limits, there's no boundaries. And generally, the majority of the music you hear Americana artists perform, they wrote it. So you're getting to hear what they heard in their head as they were writing it, what they intended that song to be. First off, if you really want to break into Americana, you're going to have to get an idea in your head of what do you think Americana is. There is such a wide array of music within Americana to choose from. What do you enjoy? What are you good at? What interests you? Because if it doesn't interest you, nobody else is going to want to listen to it. Heck, you don't want to listen to it. So it's really what's in your heart, what's in your head, and just follow that. If you do it well, it will be appreciated. I suppose you could live life by that too.
All right, I think
You got enough to play with there?